And it is off to Goodison Park and a really decent win for Leeds United. It was Everton 0, Leeds 1. We thought this was going to be an open game. It was an open game. I thought it might be a high-scoring draw or one team would just take the other to the cleaners. But it is a Leeds United win here by 1 goal and the 4th win of the season now. And just been looking for signs of sustainability all season for Leeds. And here's another one, frankly, because Everton are a good side, expensively formed side under a really, really decent manager. And it's an away win for Leeds at Goodison. Now, victorious over Fulham, Sheffield United, Villa and Everton. Certainly 2 of those sides functioning high in the table. And draws against Manchester City and Arsenal. The signs of sustainability are most definitely there. Little tweak to the 11, which we kind of forecast. Although I did expect it to be Rodrigo that came back into the central midfield spots. Stuart Dallas stepped in there in the last game. He goes back to left back. So it's mostly a Ailing, Koch, Cooper, Dallas. That's nice and settled with Calvin Phillips. Excellent in this game. Sat in front. Alioski starts down the left-hand side with Harrison moved inside with Click. I didn't spot that one coming. I thought it would be Rodrigo. Alioski would step down to the bench and Harrison would continue down the left where he's been excellent. Raphinha down the right with Bamford up front. I have checked the heat maps for Raphinha and Harrison. And let me know, I've only watched the highlights package of this one. There's a lot of Harrison going over to the right-hand side, and I don't know whether he and Raphinha were rotating or they were swapped during the game. Let me know in the comments there. But certainly for Bielsa there, really, look, other than Click centrally in that midfield 4 ahead of Calvin Phillips, a lot of options now with Rodrigo, Costa, we've seen Roberts in there, obviously Hernandez as well, and then Raphinha, Harrison, Alioski, Poveda as well coming off the bench. And they all seem to be able to rotate into the other position, which shows us that normal philosophy over everything else. So, nice lineup for Leeds there. Everton, Pickford in goal, Holgate in there as a centre-half with Keane, and Ben Godfrey gets another go. Making the step up from us in the Championship. Conceded a penalty against Fulham in the last game. Davies, Iwobi, wing-backs, Alan and Doucouré. And then that really good front 3 that Leeds are going to have to keep quiet. Richarlison, Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin, who's been well in the goals. Here is some of the chances. Big one for Everton early on there. That is Doucouré sliding in there. Can he find the corner? If he can, Meslier has no chance. He can't quite find the corner, and Meslier gets down and makes a good save to his right-hand side. Cooper just got caught out in the first instance there before the cross actually comes in, but Doucouré cannot finish. Fortunately for Leeds, that wasn't Calvert-Lewin in that position, and it was indeed Doucouré. This one's a cross for Pat Bamford. And again, the question is, can he find that huge gap to the corner to Pickford's left hand? You can see his hand's already coming out. You can see from Bamford's body shape that it's a difficult one to spin it right into the corner. I think he's fairly clever here because he seems to try and wrong foot Pickford, who does dive to his left, just flings out the right foot and makes the save. Nonetheless, a little bit of pressure on the shooter, but big chance for Bamford as well. That is cleared off the line there. There'd already been a chance. No, other way around, sorry. No, I think there had already been a chance, and this is the follow-up, and Harrison hits the shot low. Yes, indeed, Pickford had made a save. And Ben Godfrey just bails, and you can see Harrison nearest to us in the middle of the picture there. So, turning the screw, creating the chances. Leeds. This is one from Holgate. You can see that's just been dropped in there from a free kick. Holgate arriving in on the angle though, and Meslier makes the save on the angle on the volley, mitigates how big a chance it is. Leeds hit the woodwork 3 times in the last game, and here's Jack Harrison probably bearing out the fact that he has swapped spots with Raphinha. He's coming in from the right-hand side, heads that one against the post. Look, you can see Pickford beaten. Leeds continue to rack up the chances, but they are going to get the goal. And Raphinha, who made his debut in the watch-along I did against Arsenal. Leeds fans pretty excited about that. I thought there was some yin and some yang. He showed some lovely touches, but he didn't look as attuned, obviously, to the Bielsa game plan as some of the others did. I wondered whether that might actually be a good thing. And if there's going to be moments like this, then do you want him to play off the cuff a little bit? Because, you know, we often don't get Leeds players shoot in these positions. You can see Dallas making the run on his left. But Raphinha works Godfrey, puts his foot on the ball, feints to go one way and then pulls off the left-footed shot. You'd be very disappointed if you're Godfrey here, because you should have this situation under control. But Raphinha does well, works enough of a space to get a decent shot off, and as Godfrey closes down, through his legs he goes, and it's a really good shot. Look at this. It's spinning away from Pickford. Through the legs probably doesn't help Pickford, but look where Raphinha puts that. Lovely. Right into the side netting. And the Brazilian has a goal on his second start for Leeds, and it's going to be a winning goal. Brilliant stuff by the Brazilian. Maybe on another day Godfrey closes him down, but ifs, buts and maybes, and it's a great finish by Raphinha. Here is a chance created by Poveda. Costa, touch and finish, and it's 2-0. But his touch just goes away from him to the left, and it's a really decent save by Pickford, who gets himself right across the goal and throws himself at that one to make the save. So, we'll do the numbers in a minute, but Leeds, really good value for that one. And again, it plays into this narrative that, I mean, look who the points have come against. Fulham, Sheffield United, Villa, Everton, Man City and Arsenal. They much prefer, there's 3 defeats in there against Palace, Leicester and Wolves, who all sort of sat back and snapped in with some ruthless finishing. Liverpool obviously play very open as well, don't they? Leeds did lose there on the opening day. But big signs of sustainability here for Leeds. If we look at where they're in the table now, they're in 11th. Currently, I know you can see below them a couple of teams, Man United, Arsenal, with games in hand could go above them. But the direction of travel looks good for Leeds, and more games like this and more opponents that are going to go toe-to-toe with them and make it an open game almost gives Leeds a better chance. Be interested to see how they do maybe tweak to go against these other types of teams, or whether they do or not, whether the risk to reward is something that Bielsa is happy with, and he will win some of these games against these teams. And as the more quality players come in now, with people like Raphinha and Rodrigo and Koch being added to this team that did so well in the Championship, maybe that will stop working against Leeds. We will see. Look at the numbers. Talking earlier in the season about signs of sustainability, that is pretty impressive, isn't it? 59-41 on the possession, 23 shots to 15. Love it. 8 shots on target to 6 is in Everton's favour, but we're going to look a bit further down at the chance quality, which always tells a story, doesn't it? 4 corners to 2 for Everton says maybe something about the territory. Also says about what Leeds do when they get the ball wide, because they're not really bothered about corners, are they? There's the big stat though, 5 big chances. I always say on the channel, every game, you should never use one stat as a single factor analysis. It just never works with football. But if you do use one, it'll never give you the full picture, but revealing is always big chances. Always gives us a sense of the game better than probably any other stat, really. 5 big chances to 2 there and 5 missed. So it tells us, A, that Leeds are creating lots of chances still, which they've done continually for 2 years under Bielsa. It tells us that they didn't take any of the big chances, but they still won the game, and you can't rely on an off-the-cuff goal from Raphinha to win you the game, but they're not. They created another 5 big chances, didn't they? If that said 0 big chances in the win, you say, okay, unsustainable. That's not going to happen every week. But with the 5 big chances, just brilliant stuff. And we, of course, have watched Leeds for ages on the channel. We've seen this type of performance over and again, just keeping the ball moving, keeping those patterns of play going, and teams can't live with it. And this is why the cult of Bielsa exists, doesn't it? Brilliant stuff. And a really nice, another signature victory against an Everton team. You see them up in 6th position, and you start to think about where Leeds are going to lie in the hierarchy in the Premier League this season. Obviously, you might expect a Manchester United or a Manchester City to be joining Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Leicester up there in the top 6. Maybe a Southampton or an Everton or a West Ham or a Wolves might sort of settle into that position behind the top 6. And the question is, are Leeds going to be in that little group between sort of 7 to 11 or 12? Or are they going to be in the next little group, which probably are going to be clear of relegation, and Newcastle, a Crystal Palace, those sort of sides, probably include Brighton in there, to be honest. Because there does seem to genuinely now be four levels in this hierarchy. One is the elite teams that are going to be challenging for the title and for the Champions League. 2 is the next load behind them that are going to be competitive in a lot of games but struggle against the elite teams. 3 is the one that are kind of safe from relegation but aren't going to trouble the big teams, might sometimes take some points off the second tier teams. And it does look, given the points totals, like you've got a, because it involves some of the dearly departed teams, doesn't necessarily please me, but you've got another whole tier at the bottom there of teams that are going to be scrapping for relegation. Where do Leeds lie? Is it in the second tier or in the third? So I'm sure big picture, they'd be happy just not to be in the bottom tier. But I wonder if they can move into that second tier in the top half, i.e. teams that might not take that many points off the top 4 or the top 6, but every other game they're competitive. It's interesting. It's panning out quite nicely for Leeds. 11th place. That might be worse by the time this full Dearly Departed video clip, which is going to come out on Tuesday, airs. So we'll have a look at that. In the meantime, get your comments in on Everton 0, Leeds 1, and an excellent win for the Whites. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload, ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.